Comic Book Nation, BD here with your recap to the rescue for Thor Ragnarok, breaking down everything you may have missed in the latest Marvel Studios flick. Arriving as the third film and fifth appearance of Thor, director Taika Waititi set out for a brand new spin on the character with this installment, which was clear from the jump as Chris Hemsworth's comedic chops, which Waititi wanted to exploit after seeing Ghostbusters, were on display in the opening conversation with Surtur. Thor was last seen in Avengers Age of Ultron heading back to the cosmos after defeating Tony Stark's accidentally evil robots, and has since been attempting to fulfill a quest for the Infinity Stones, but ended up a prisoner on Muspelheim. The film wastes no time when it comes to mocking its predecessors in the Thor trilogy. On Asgard, Loki posing as Odin enjoys a play telling Loki's heroism, with Matt Damon making a surprise cameo as the Asgardian actor playing Odin's half-son. The fun is short-lived as Thor arrives, using his precious Mjolnir hammer to scare Loki into admitting his true identity and helping to lead Thor to Odin in New York City's Shady Acres retirement home, the same name of the retirement home Stan Marsh's grandfather is sent to on South Park. Enter Doctor Strange. The Sorcerer Supreme, who has come a long way since making his MCU debut, traps Loki in another dimension while helping Thor identify the location of Odin, ultimately sending the Cosmic Brothers to Norway to find their dad and their first encounter with Hela upon Odin's death. This wasn't always the plan. Originally, Thor would encounter Hela in New York City, as seen in the first trailers for Ragnarok, but the exchange would be moved to Norway to remove the distractions created by New York City's sounds and surroundings. This wasn't the only change made late in the game for Thor Ragnarok. On the set of the movie in Australia, we saw the trailer scene with Thor, Loki, Hulk, and Valkyrie standing side by side preparing to fight Hela. Loki would use his trickery to distract the goddess of death before a fight ensued, but in the final cut of the film, he was sent to retrieve Surtur's crown from Odin's vault in an effort to unleash Ragnarok on Asgard and end the goddess of death's villainous schemes once and for all. Also in Odin's vault, the Tesseract from the Avengers, which Loki totally took with him and was seen delivering to someone in the Avengers Infinity War footage we saw at D23 and San Diego Comic-Con this summer. Also there, the Infinity Gauntlet. We saw it in the first Thor movie, but Hela dubs it as fake. It's a course correction to maintain the Marvel Cinematic Universe's continuity. Thanos got the real gold glove in the Avengers Age of Ultron post-credit scene, and it fit the other hand. Whoops! Thanos didn't appear in Thor Ragnarok, but did earn a reference. Early on, Thor explained his journey toward the Infinity Stones as leading him to nothing but death and destruction. The Mad Titan has a reputation for such trails in the comics, and will do so in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. Speaking of mad, the Hulk flew off of Earth in Avengers Age of Ultron, only to be sucked into a wormhole, land on Sakaar, get captured by the same cast of the Lion King on Broadway looking bunch as Thor does, and realize his Planet Hulk gladiator fate. Luckily, the Green Rage monster, with a massively improved vocabulary, even though it's still that of a 2-year-old, also brought his friends Korg and Meek from the popular comic, and while they may have looked slightly different from their comic book counterparts, they managed to steal the scenes on several occasions, as director Taika Waititi performed both the voice and motion capture elements of the Cronin character we met. The characters were key in overthrowing the gladiator matches in Planet Hulk, as the book's Red King character was replaced by Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster this time around. Ragnarok's Grandmaster, like Guardians of the Galaxy's Collector, is one of the Elders, the last survivors of the otherwise extinct races known for specific obsessions such as collecting, fighting, or gaming. Grandmaster sure did love his gaming and his fighting, even calling his event the Contest of Champions, a reference to the Marvel title first published in June of 1982. The Grandmaster's references didn't stop there though. His palace on Sakaar was loaded with tributes to his previous champions, which included the Hulk, but also saw the immortalized heads of Man-Thing, Beta Ray Bill, and Ares. The only other Avenger to appear in the film was Black Widow in the form of the message she sent to Bruce Banner at the end of Avengers 2, but she would be echoed throughout as Thor used her "sun's getting real low" lines to try and manage the Hulk's rage. The Avengers references, however, ran deeper. For example, the password for Thor to access the Quinjet's controls was Point Break, which was what Tony Stark called the God of Thunder aboard the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier in 2012's first Avengers film. Of course, what would this movie have been without Valkyrie, who was introduced as Scrapper 142 in reference to her first appearance in The Incredible Hulk 142. Tessa Thompson's character surges in the fan-favorite rankings with her swag and style, at the same time as Cate Blanchett's Hela becoming not only the first female villain in the MCU, but one of the universe's best villains overall. Topping that off, she's Thor's secret sister as kept from him by Odin and is probably dead, now that Surtur became the size of a mountain and drove his sword through her. While Hela was most heavily influenced by Gorr, the villain of Marvel Now's God of Thunder comics, the same book which sees Thor lose an eye like he did in the movie, but Thor does have a secret sister in the comics now in the form of Angela, who was introduced on the pages in 2014. What types of Easter eggs and references did you catch in Thor Ragnarok? Let us know in the comments section or send them to me on Twitter at BrandonDavisBD and at comicbook.com/Marvel for complete breakdowns of Thor Ragnarok. Just kidding! Post-credit scene, which Thor Ragnarok had two of. The second post-credit scene saw the Grandmaster being captured by the people he once ruled in a comedic moment, but the first sets the stage for Avengers Infinity War. Just as Thor and Loki agree to set a course for Earth, their ship containing all of the Asgardian survivors crosses paths with a menacing new ship. Whose ship is that, you ask? Well, it must be Thanos, and he is coming for that Tesseract Loki stole earlier in the film.